In this video, we'll learn about how to factor the polynomials. The first thing we have to do to factor the polynomial is we have to multiply this term and this term, which is with the x square. So what is the coefficient of x squared in our case? It's 1. And then this is 27. So when we multiply 1 times 27, we get 27. Now we have to think of two numbers which when multiplied to give you 27, but when you add them, it should give you 12, which is the middle term. You leave the x, you don't consider x in this case, you just write the coefficient of x, which is 12. So again, we have to think about two numbers. Think of two numbers which when multiplied to give you 27, and the same numbers should be added to give you 12. Now let's see. 9 times 3 is 27, and 9 plus 3 is also 12. So what are the factors? Our factors are positive 9 and positive 3. So what we're going to do is we'll make two parentheses here. We'll write x, and since we have both the factors as positive, so this is one factor is positive 9, the other factor is positive 3. That's how you factor the quadratic equation. Now let's try another example in this. So this time I have x squared plus 7x minus 8. Again, we have to multiply this term and the coefficient of x squared. So again, we have the coefficient of x squared is 1, and 1 times, now you have to be careful. You have to be careful when you're multiplying, you have to include the sign as well. So this time we have negative 8. 1 times negative 8 will be negative 8. So you have to think of two numbers which when multiplied to give you negative 8, but when you add them, it should give you 7. You leave the x, you only take the coefficient of x, you don't include x. So you have to think of two numbers which when multiplied to give you negative 8, but when added should give you positive 7. Now let's think about such numbers. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. Let's ignore the sign for now. 2 times 4 is 8, but 2 plus 4 is not 7. Now, what else? 8 times 1 is 8. And 8 minus 1 is also 7. So let's say if this is 8 and this is 1. Now 8 times 1 is not negative 8. 8 times 8 plus 1 is not 7. That means one number has to be negative in this. So if this means that we have the negative sign in front of 1 because 8 minus 1, 8 plus negative 1 will be 7, and 8 times negative 1 will be negative 8. So the factors of this equation are x. So we'll write the parentheses again. We'll write the parentheses and we'll write x inside. Now this time we have positive 8 and negative 1. So the factor of this polynomial equation is x plus 8 and x minus 1.